Hello, this is Jess Hay from Creative Cards to You. Thank you so much for joining me. Transform your old cards into stunning vintage masterpieces with these DIY sticker hacks. This turned out to be one of my all-time favorite cards that I have ever made, but I almost scrapped the background and threw it away. To get started, I went on Pixabay and Unsplash and searched for vintage or Victorian images, knowing I was going to make a mixed media card. I printed the stickers on two types of paper, white sticker and a clear vinyl, just the least expensive I could find on Amazon. I have a mixture of flowers and images that could be used for a variety of recipients. Make sure you put the correct side of the paper into your printer, or you will print on the wrong side like I did. To add some texture to the background, I am using this transparent texture gloss, which I put through a Tim Holtz stencil. I spread it with a little spatula and set it aside to dry. Then I cut the stickers out. I am going to be showing you how you can make some of these into ephemera in a future video, so stay tuned for that. I love it when I can find pictures that match the recipient, such as this lady with a microscope. I am tearing the paper to give it a more vintage feel. I also made some sentiments because I am making this card for someone who left the science field to go into a teacher-in-residence program to be a special education teacher, and this sentiment really resonated with me. I love how you can add personal touches like this when you're designing your own stickers. I can't cut straight to save my life, so I am using a paper trimmer to cut out the sentiment because, knowing me, I'd cut it crooked. I do decide to cut it in half because the shorter strips will fit the card better. I also cut out this cute jar. The jar and the sentiments were from the white sticker paper, as was the photograph. I cut out the purple flowers out of the vinyl sticker paper. I die cut this frame from the Lou Collins layered frames to kind of anchor the picture. I also used my heat tool to dry the texture gloss because I applied it thick and it wasn't dry yet. I was getting impatient. I use scissors to rough up the edges, taking care not to let the scissors slip. I wanted to give the card a more antique look. I used antique linen and walnut stain distressed oxide sprays to color the frame. If I had it to do over, I think I would just use a foam blender and some inks and apply it that way rather than using sprays, but for some reason I had it in my head that I wanted to do it this way. I also dipped the edge of the card in the sprays to give it a more vintage antiqued look. To add some color, I am using this Tim Holtz Distressed Oxide, Uncharted Mariner, and Lumberjack Plaid to make a maroon color. I thought that kind of matched the flowers nicely, and I don't have this color in my stash. Mixing colors is a great way to stretch your stash. I sprayed the panel with water and I used a paintbrush to apply the watered down spray. At this point, I am not loving the panel, and I came very close to almost throwing it away. But this was a lesson for me to just keep going, try something different, and see what you can make of it. I decided to add another color that was still kind of in the color family, this antique linen distress oxide spray. And I got brave, and I sprayed it directly onto the panel. Again, not following my usual order of how I do backgrounds. I misted the panel with water to kind of spread the ink around, and I used a plastic panel to move the watered down ink. I heat set it with my heat tool. I just started arranging the different pieces to see what kind of resonated with me. I left this part of the creative process in for you to see. I thought I had recorded putting the stickers on, the flower stickers on, but I did not. So here is what I put on the card without the camera recording. You can see the lovely background here. I tore this page from an old book and applied it with some clear gesso. I thought it added a nice layer and framed the picture. I decided to make this card rather flat as I was using stickers. I used gesso to go over the photo as well. I really wasn't sure where I wanted that jar, but I kept fiddling with it and decided that the bottom was the best. I normally add text and stamped elements before gluing everything on, but I really did it backwards this time, and it really worked. I used stamps from this Tim Holtz stamp set and Archival Black Ink in random places on the card. I glued a panel of brown cardstock to the card, and I adhered the main panel on the brown cardstock for a nice matte look. After I glued the sentiment strips on the main panel, that is. Now, after all of this work, I was not brave enough to splatter ink on this background. So I used this ink blots from Catherine Pooler's Scripted Thoughts stamp set, and I just kind of rotated the stamped, inked parts of it at a time to get a variegated and random look. I was very happy with how this turned out. I know I couldn't have got this if I just splatted ink on myself. To finish it off, I have this little 37 sign from an alcohol inked panel I made a month ago. I cut gold thread and used a strip of double-sided adhesive to put some gold thread behind the little sign. That double-sided adhesive sure came in handy as I put it under the thread and then over the thread to keep it in place. So there you have it, another mixed media card made super special by DIY Stickers. Watson and I would love to know what you think of this card. We'd also like you to share your own DIY sticker creations in the comments section. See you next time!